It is blizzard time, and since we have a blizzard going on, I got the Boston Yeti with me. What's up, Yeti? Just so you know, you don't need to wear a mask. This is a remote interview, and you know you can take off the mask. Yeah. And actually, if you could take off that mask as well. Yeah, just I want to see your face. I want to see who I'm talking to. The man behind the mask. Okay, actually, okay, you can take off that mask. You can take off that mask too. Yeah. Hello, John. How you doing?
Hey, Rob. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good. Just, I think there's a little bit of snow outside. Just a little bit of snow.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's snowing pretty hard. Yeah.
So obviously it's a whiteout right now in Massachusetts and all of New England. What are your Yeti plans today? What's the Boston Yeti going to be up to later today?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't talked to him yet this morning, but I think he's going to be heading out. He's probably going to grab a shovel, go help some of the elderly folks in the neighborhood shovel out. He loves a mean cup of ginger tea, so I suspect he'll probably park himself under a tree and watch the snow fall.
You've been the Boston Yeti for 7 years. 7 years. How does it feel to be Yetiing all this time?
It feels great. I think it's really kind of funny and silly that it has lasted this long. People are still interested, and especially when storms are coming, I hear from people on Twitter and they reach out to the Yeti and they say, you're going to make an appearance, and I think it's great. It's just fun.
How did this all start? What's the origin story of the Yeti?
Yeah, so I bought the Yeti costume for Halloween that year, 2015, and put it in the closet. And then when the storm, that first storm in January of 2015 came, NECN ran a little story saying, hey, tweet us your photos from the storm. And I said, oh, I think that'd be really funny if I put the suit on. And we got some pictures of me out in the storm and tweeted them to NECN. And I've always loved Bigfoot and cryptids. And so I did that, and it snowballed from there. Yeah, it was really exciting and unexpected.
I do appreciate the snowball pun. I hope that was great. That gets a check mark from old Rob. Is the costume warm? Do you have like supplies? Is it filled with like those little heat packs in there?
It's surprisingly warm. I think I've gone out a few times with just a t-shirt on underneath. I mean, it really keeps me warm, and all the traipsing around in the snow, it's a good cardio workout. So I really stay warm pretty easily. When
the snow hits, for the past 7 years, you've been out there kind of being this mysterious figure. What have been your favorite Yeti moments?
Yeah, there's two that come to mind. The first one is shoveling people out in East Boston. I went out there that first winter and would just sort of walk down the street and find people shoveling out their cars and just help them without saying anything. And some of the looks I got were pretty priceless. A couple of years later, actually, I heard from a couple that were getting married, and they said, we really want the Boston Yeti at our wedding reception. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. They were looking for something that was quintessential Boston. And so they had me escort their bridal party from the subway in Cambridge over to a comedy club. I should also note that it was the summer. So sitting in the subway with this suit on was pretty brutal. Glad I didn't faint, but that's a memorable story, yeah.
All right, so you're out there being the Yeti, and of course, the Yeti might get a little sweaty. How do you clean the costume? Do you clean the costume?
I don't. No.
Really?
And it's true, the Yeti gets sweaty, if I may.
You may.
But, you know, you'd be surprised. It's not as sort of gross as it sounds. I keep it sort of clean. You know, it's in like a nice case. It hangs next to my suit in my closet, you know. So I take care of it. It's not as gross as you think.
Who is John and who is the Yeti? How do you two differ? I mean, this seems like your alter ego. You're Batman to the Bruce Wayne. Who are these two people?
It's a good question. I think the Yeti is much more of an extrovert than I am. He doesn't mind sort of being the center of attention and being in the spotlight. Me, John, on the other hand, I sort of like to be in the shadows. I'm much more of an introvert. I'd say that's one of the big differences for sure.
No one cared who I was until I put on the mask, right? That's that kind of deal. You're able to get out there as the Yeti.
Yeah, it's sort of like I can put the mask on and sort of, you know, become something different. It's like an opportunity to be a kid again. I feel very kind of like joyful and kid-like when I have the suit on. Yeah, the Boston Yeti's a vegan. Which makes sense. You know, he's pro-animal. He's done a lot of work with the MSPCA, and he really cares for animals. So yeah, he's a full-fledged vegan. Yeah, though he loves spaghetti, Rob. Can I just say he loves spaghetti.
Your palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti. Gotta get the Boston Yeti. It writes itself. As I understand it, the Boston Yeti has a baby. You have a 4-month-old baby. Are we going to see a baby Yeti sometime? Do we have a little Yeti costume? Any plans for this young lady?
Well, you can imagine that, you know, when my wife and I announced that we were pregnant, we got a lot of Yeti-related gifts. So there's no shortage of Yeti stuffed animals and little Yeti outfits. So I think that there's a possibility that the Boston Yeti might have a little sidekick before too long.
And speaking of kids, I hear, rumor has it that the Yeti's working on some sort of children's book.
It's been in the development stage for a few years. I think by far the thing I really want to do next with the Boston Yeti character is a children's book. I have a story, I have a concept, and I think it's really great. So hopefully I can, make the right connections and we can get that started this year. It's something I'd really, really like to do.
Lady Gaga has her Little Monsters. Taylor Swift has her Swifties. Do the Yeti fans call themselves anything, or is it just the people who love the Yeti?
I think it's just the people who love the Yeti.
People who love the Yeti, which is everyone. How can you not love the Yeti?
I mean, I feel the love, I do. And the Yeti does too.
I know when you started the Yeti, a lot of your friends are probably super into it. It was a big mystery. Who is it? Of course, some of them knew. But you actually had lost a friend at the same time.
I had a really close friend named Reed who passed away unexpectedly right after the Boston Yeti stuff had started. And I really didn't feel I wasn't in a headspace to be silly and do this kind of thing. And so I really struggled with, do I want to keep doing this when I'm, hurting? And I realized that Reed would have wanted me to keep doing it. And I never got a chance to sort of talk to him about it. I think he would have loved the Yeti story and what was happening that year. So it kind of like gave me an escape, to deal with what was going on at the time.
I love it. We always have that one friend when we're doing something weird and ridiculous, like that would be the person that you go to and they'll appreciate it the most. And in a way, Yeti's not only helping everybody else get through these winters and all this tough stuff, but it helped you, and it seems like it's brought a lot of joy to your life.
Yeah, it was kind of like therapeutic in a way, and especially knowing that I was making so many other people happy. I mean, it was like a really good way to channel my grief.
Who do you think kind of influences this feeling you have of going out there and kind of making a splash, getting people talking? Did this come from anywhere? The
idea sort of just kind of came organically, but in thinking about like influences, there was a guy named Tony Sard who I actually made a short documentary film with Fred and Eric Gulliver for PBS American Experience. And Tony Sard was considered the father of modern American puppetry. And he's actually the guy that's responsible for the Macy's Day Parade balloons. And the documentary we did was about a hoax that he put together on Nantucket Island, where he let a big sea serpent balloon wash up on the beach and kind of freak everybody out. And then it became like a really fun thing. And he was all about, trickery and jokes and kind of, having really innocent fun with people. And so I relate to that. There's a lot of synergy between me and Tony Sard. I think about him a lot.
Well, John, it has been a pleasure to talk to you. And actually, can I talk to the Boston Yeti? Is it possible if I could talk to the Yeti right now?
Yeah. Let me.
I mean, John. I love you, but I kind of want to get a sign off from the Yeti.
Sure, I won't take it personally.
No, it's fine. Yeah. Boston Yeti, thank you for the interview. Good luck out there. Do you have anything to say to the public? Oh my God, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Take care, Yeti.